Season 5, Episode 32 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Vid Stealers. I am Jonathan Litzkin. To my left is the non-music player, Sam Fetterman.
You could have played the music.
I usually don't do that. If you told me to play the music, I would have. But we are close to getting through our first day, period, of college basketball. Gonzaga and Baylor set to tip in about 10 minutes. That is the game of the day on day one. Sam was ready to declare another game, the game of the day on day one last night, but he conceded, and now we have seen a full day of a lot of D1 versus D1 matchups, a lot of D1 versus non-D1 matchups. But Sam, how are you doing on this? How are you doing on this fine Monday night?
Glorious is the one way to describe it. Like, the greatest sport on the planet is back.
It's back.
I mean, I don't know how else to say. It's the best thing ever.
So, for those of you that weren't here last year,
well, I think what we should do is we should start with the games that we were actually able to watch.
I was getting to that point. We are going to go over a lot of games tonight. It's not going to be that long of a pod, but we're going to get through a lot of games. However, if you are expecting this hard-hitting analysis that we usually provide on this podcast, we're not going to be able to do that for that many games because we don't get to see that many games on opening day. There's just too many teams that play. A lot of the games are condensed. It's simply a tough day to provide high-level analysis. However, we had some standalone games. Sam was at a game. I watched some games tonight. I was reporting for a game. So those games, we will be able to get in to what happened. So, Sam, I will throw it to you. Where do you want to start with today's opening night slate?
I want to start in South Dakota.
Beautiful. Would you like to start with the first game in South Dakota or the second one?
Honestly, I want to start with the second game.
I figured as much. So the game Sam is talking about was one of the mid-major games that everyone sort of had their eye on today. It was Santa Clara 85, St. Louis 78. A really good game from start to finish, although the main storyline coming out of here is that Robbie Avila goes down with an injury in the final minutes, leaves the game, does not come back. He had his right shoe off on the bench, not his left, as Twitter very clearly specified to somebody. But yeah, Avila goes out. Shirt said in the post game on KMOX, which is a radio station in St. Louis, that it's a sprain. 3 to 4 weeks is the approximate timeline for when they're going to reevaluate him. That's a lot of time to miss for a St. Louis team that has at-large hopes. But in terms of just the pure basketball game, this was awesome. It was like, I don't want to call it contradicting styles because I don't think Santa Clara has this defined style, but it's contradictory in the way the teams are built.
Yeah, I think Santa Clara in the first 10 minutes of this game was clearly the aggressors. They got St. Louis out of their comfort zone. First couple minutes of the game, Carlos Stewart is just blowing by his dudes on baseline drives, kicking it out, and they're getting easy baskets off of that. And Adama Alpha Ball was so good in this game. He was doing whatever he wanted. Christoph Tilley dominated as well in the low post. He hit some shots. Cam Tung had an awesome first half for Santa Clara.
Yep.
And then St. Louis really started to settle in. Isaiah Swope, he's really fast too. He can hit shots from anywhere on the floor. And I think we saw that in the second half. He briefly took over that game and kept St. Louis in it when the game was really swinging towards Santa Clara.
Yeah, I think that Santa Clara did a nice job really kind of adjusting after St. Louis made the adjustment. And it wasn't really so much of an adjustment because St. Louis didn't really change what they were doing. They just got more comfortable with the way the game was being played. It felt like Santa Clara was doing a pretty good job taking them out of their stuff and really getting up in their face and pressuring them. But, the ball kept moving. St. Louis is going to be one of the toughest teams, not just in the A-10, but in the country to guard this season. And they showed that today. Now, could that change without Avila? Of course. But this was a really fun basketball game between two pretty good major teams, and I think these are both teams based off this game that we're gonna have to keep an eye out for the rest of the season.
No doubt. I mean, we were already going to be keeping an eye out for these teams, but the road gets really tough from here for St. Louis because you don't really have many more up games. Like, you have to beat San Francisco and Grand Canyon at this point. You kind of have to win out the non-conference.
They play Wichita too, don't they?
Yeah, but that's a neutral, so that's not going to really have a chance to be quad one.
Yeah.
You really kind of have to win out the non-conference slate in order to make the NCAA tournament as an at-large. The A-10 had an interesting day. We'll kind of get into more of that later. But not a great day for St. Louis. Again, they didn't really play a ton of guys a lot. AJ Casey didn't look very good off the bench. Josiah Dossler had a 5 trillion. Larry Hughes played 19 minutes and didn't score. I thought Kellen Thames had a really nice game. I was impressed with what he did. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how much. I don't know how much of this for Santa Clara is transferable. Like, I don't think they're getting this type of production out of Cameron Tongue that often. But I thought Elijah Mai was really effective as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is a Santa Clara team that has all sorts of athletes. I mean, I tweeted out during this game that Adama Ball just looks like a next level player. He looks like a pro. He looks like an NBA guy.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
They talked a lot about it on the broadcast, how he'd put a lot of work in this season, getting better and getting in better shape. And that's why he came back to Santa Clara. He was spectacular today. He was a huge difference, knocked down 3 threes. And like, Santa Clara did win today despite Carlos Stewart not having his best game. I know he was a factor early in that game, but he finished 0 of 8 from the field. He's not going to be that bad or even close to that most of these games the rest of the season, and I expect him to be one of their better players. But they picked him up today. Tyree Bryant hit some big shots. Christoph Tilly was really good in moments. They got a really big game from Cam Tongue off the bench. It was just a very good effort from Santa Clara, start to finish, with a guy that you and I think thought was going to be their second best player, Sam, not having his best day.
Absolutely agree. Christoph Tilly is going to be really good. Christoph Tilly is going to be really good for this team this year. I can see that for sure. Kalu Anya, only 6 points, but 11 rebounds, was good on the defensive end. I think having a guy like him that can kind of combat some bigger matchups in the Jason Kent type role, can put the ball on the floor a little bit. Mostly a post offensive guy though. At Brown, I want to see. I mean, we didn't see him take any outside shots today. That's not his game. He only took 30 of them last year. I wonder how much you can be on the floor in a shirt system if you're not taking shots though. And I think Anya is going to be really good defensively for them on the glass. But I think they need another guy out there at times that's going to hit shots.
Yeah, I thought he had his bright spots today, but that's a totally fair point. Jason Kent was awesome for them last year. I thought he may have been the most important player that team had. Sean Stewart just got a 3. I got distracted. But yeah,
what? Sean Stewart hit a 3?
Sean Stewart took a 3. He missed it. He took a 3 though. That's okay. That's new. But yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying. Jason Kent was really key for them last year. He was certainly more aggressive than Anya was today. But this is also like new for him. Like,
yeah, it's new.
He will get better in the system as the year goes along, and so will other guys. Like, we got to remember that the only guys that really have experience here playing in this system are Avila and Swope, the 2 guys that came from Indiana State. I thought both were great today. There's other guys that are going to come along. They're going to get better as the year goes along. And like, I know that Schertz doesn't like to play a ton of guys. He didn't last year. He doesn't do it unless he has to. But like, they're going to need somebody off that bench to step up, and it's probably going to have to be Larry Hughes.
Do you know what it's time for?
What is it time?
It's time for a Valia.
Yes, I knew it.
Then why didn't you say it?
I didn't want to like get excited and then get let down.
We both we both watched this game. You watched more of it than me. I was in class, but we were both able to watch Charleston SIU. I mean, Ante Brzovic is awesome. And
Yeah,
we've
no,
known
no
this
doubt.
for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Southern Illinois had no answer for him. Like, how do you counter athleticism? Like, you counter it with good schematics, finesse, ability to hit outside shots, ability to get guys open. That finesse part for Brozovic is really important. Like, he's so good inside when he gets positioned with his footwork. He has great touch around the rim, and if he's hitting outside shots, like, or not even outside shots like 3-pointers, but outside shots like mid-range jumpers, like, you're done. You have no way to guard him, and there's very few guys in the country that can guard him. He's also like a pretty good passer. He had 4 assists today. He was really good passing out of double teams. SIU just had no answer for him, and we can get into the SIU part of this, but this is a Charleston team that looks like they're going to be a really fun watch again. CJ Fulton looks to have taken a massive step forward. He was really big for them today. I think AJ Smith's going to have his moments, and I was really impressed with Dewalt Tavares too, who was the freshman of the year last year in the MEAC at Delaware State. He seems to fit in perfect with them. He was being aggressive. He was getting to the rim, hit a couple threes in there. This seems to be a pretty well constructed roster. And Sam, I know you were impressed by Jackson Prunty, the freshman off the bench for them as well.
Yeah, he had a good game. I thought Chris Mack did a really nice job today adjusting. He went to that funky 1-3-1,
Yeah.
and he didn't go away from it. It had some rough spots early on, and they were a little bit too low in the zone. I think the first couple of possessions with it, but they figured it out, and it really confused Southern Illinois. New team, new coach, game one. That's going to happen in Southern Illinois, as you mentioned. They don't really have all that offensive talent this year that Nagy teams you're used to them having. At Wright State last year, he had Trey Calvin and Tanner Holden. He doesn't have one player as good as either of those guys or last year, and it's not really even that close. I will say, though, I think SIU played hard on the defensive end. There were some moments in this game where it really looked like they were going to win. They were going to win the game with some defense. There was a tie game in the second half, and Charleston kind of had a play breakdown, and Southern Illinois was with him the entire way, and it was really impressive how they just completely blocked every cut. But that was with about 8 minutes left, and Charleston just kind of wore him down from there. I think Brzovic is really ready to play maybe more than 22, 23 minutes a game this year. He could be a 31-minute-a-game guy and be the CAA Player of the Year.
Yeah, and that would be huge for him for Charleston as a team if he can be effective and be on the court for that long.
I think it's also more of just like, hey, Pat Kelsey wants to play super fast, wants to have guys up and down the court all the time. Frankie Policelli, CJ Fulton. Who else was on? Ryan.
We saw that tonight in Louisville.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I didn't watch that game. We'll skim the box scores and argue.
That was a definitive box score watching game. I am attempting to get this Gonzaga Baylor game on my computer right now, and I'm struggling mightily. It's on ESPN 2, right?
Tip-off is going to be on ESPNU.
Well, the Monday night game just ended. So
I know. I'm looking at it right now, though, and it says tip-off is going to be on ESPNU.
Son of a... Oh, my God. Okay. But no, they are not allowed to take our college basketball from us.
They may take our college basketball. Sorry, they may take our lives, but they will never take our college basketball.
But yeah, so to go to the Southern Illinois side of this, everything that I wrote about Southern,
like, is just showing Ruben Bain in an interview from like August.
So I don't think. Granted, I didn't get eyes on every MVC team today. I also don't put much stock into the MVC teams that played non-D1 teams like Drake, Northern Iowa as well. But I will say that of the teams that I saw today in the MVC, I don't think there was a team that I was more accurate about in my preseason article than Southern Illinois. That team is exactly how I described them. They're athletic. They're going to play fast. They're going to try to get you in transition. They're not going to want to play a half-court game against you. But they have nobody that can shoot. I don't know what the final line was, but they were like 4 of 18 from 3 at one point. It was right around there. I did like that. I loved that they fought. Like Charleston kept just hitting really big shots to kind of pull away, and Southern Illinois would just consistently fight back. Southern Illinois finished 5 of 21 from 3 today. And then like my other takeaway here is like this team's they look disconnected at times. I think that's going to improve as the year goes along. They have like 2 returning players from last year's team, and obviously a new coach as well. Was really surprised that Antoine Massey got a start for them. I thought that he was kind of behind not only Jorge Moreno, who came off the bench, but Jaheim Weber, a freshman who Nagy brought with him, who was committed to Wright State. But yeah, like this team's shooting on the perimeter is going to be a problem, and it's probably going to lose them some games. But I will say that like I think Elijah Elliott can be all league. He looked great today, and I am probably more optimistic about the Salukis than I was at the start of today.
All right, let's move on and start box score watching.
You don't want to talk about Syracuse Lemoyne at all?
No, I don't.
Can I talk about Memphis Mizzou? Because I watched the entire thing, and it was painful.
I don't think you should want to talk about that game either.
I have a lot of thoughts right now about this Mizzou team and this Mizzou program. Did you say it was starting on ESPNU or ESPN News?
You.
Okay. I'm putting this on. So
you can battle wearing 99. Like, dude, get that jersey off. Like, get a real number.
You can talk all you want about the result of that game. And you can talk all you want about the players on this team and what Memphis did in the second half and anything else that had to do with the actual game. But there is a bigger overarching problem with Mizzou that I think we have to recognize, Sam. And that is that I don't think Dennis Gates is a good in-game coach.
Yeah.
Year one, really good team. Shouldn't say really good. They were pretty good. Won a lot of big games. They kind of caught people by surprise because they were running a complex system that nobody had really seen in the SEC. It was pretty unique. Like they were actually okay. Like it was like kind of Grinnell-like. They were okay like giving up an open shot if it meant that they could get down the floor faster and push in transition and get a better shot themselves. But year two, obviously they lost some key players and they took a massive step back in the talent department. But it felt like there were many games last year that you kind of sat there and you're like, okay, Mizzou's in it with 10 minutes to go and they implode. And sure, you could chalk that up to a couple things. They weren't very deep. Guys were hurt. Talent wasn't as good as the other teams in the league, especially from probably 8-1. You could chalk that up to a lot of things. But this is a roster that's supposed to be much improved. It's supposed to be much more talented. You have a 10-point lead at half on the road. And Memphis, like one team came out and made an adjustment and the other one didn't. And that's really all it was. And it's really frustrating to sit here and watch that happen after all that happened last year. And like, I'll give David Campbell couldn't come on last night, but I'll give him a shout out here. I was texting him after the game. I said Dennis Gates has now gotten outcoached in the second half in back-to-back seasons by Penny Hardaway. And David corrected me because Penny Hardaway did not coach the game last year at Mizzou. He was suspended for that game. And the coach of that game for Memphis was Rick Stansbury, which makes it worse.
I don't know, man.
By the way, I don't think Memphis is very good. Just from
No.
what I watched tonight, like that looked like a team that was really out of sorts. They obviously have talent, but they don't play together very well. The whole reason for their comeback was because I cannot read that.
Jason Commander tweeted at me. Trey Johnson
You deserve every bit of that.
He tweeted at me that Trey Johnson scored more points than Kevin Durant in his debut. What a pass!
You deserve every bit of that.
Fine. Can we box score watch now?
Go for it.
All right, let's dive in.
I want to talk about Syracuse Lemoyne. That game was good.
It was a great game. I'm gonna say. I think Will Amika is a piece for Lemoyne. He only played like 14 minutes tonight, but 12 points, some really good defensive shifts. He fouled out, but Dome, he's Syracuse native, West Genesee, was a winner in high school, sectionals, played at the Dome in high school, and now coming back. We got to talk to him after the game, and like this is a big deal for him, and it's a big deal for Lemoyne. It's a big deal for that university to play at the Dome and to play well at the Dome. As for Syracuse, just burn the tape, like burn the tape type game. Like you are like they won because they were better, like they're more talented. They were outplayed in just about every aspect of the game. They just happen to have more talent.
Have you talked to any Syracuse fans about this since it went final?
Yeah, like everybody is pissed.
They should be.
Jair Davis kind of did what Jair Davis does. Like he dominated physically with his strength against guys that are just not strong enough or not fast enough to guard him. Like that was his mismatch problem in the CAA. He would be too big for forwards, too fast for centers. Mm-hmm. And he was that today. Eddie Lampkin had a wide open layup, and he passed to a guy who was out of bounds. I still can't believe that happened.
That's awesome, man.
But like JJ Starling had the ball in his hands when Syracuse needed it with like 30 seconds left, and he got the big layup. Chris Bell had the big defensive play, jumping the screen and stealing the ball. But burn the tape. Burn the tape. You have 8 days until Colgate. It better not look this bad. They better beat Colgate by double digits.
Yeah, and this is a Colgate team that lost some key pieces. They're mixing.
Colgate plays tomorrow.
Obviously, Langle does a really good job there developing it in-house, and it's a really tough place to win, and he consistently does it. But there is an aspect of a rebuild there, even if it means they do win the Patriot League for the 30,000th year in a row.
And Lemoyne lost. Lemoyne's top two returners weren't playing, AJ Dantzler and Derek Jones. They're injured.
Yeah.
Derek told me that he's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Maybe he'll be cleared for Wednesday. They play CISA, and I'll be there. No show Wednesday.
I didn't think we were going to do on Wednesday because we have one tomorrow night. Wednesday's kind of a weaker slate. I'd be down to
we have one tomorrow night, and then probably none until Friday.
Well, Friday we'd have to do it during the day. That's the only thing. And I love when we do this and we plan out our shows on air.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But Syracuse looked bad. Let's now box score watch.
Can we start with the game that our friend Jason Conander just tweeted at you about?
Sure. Has it gone final yet?
It has not. There's still 7 minutes to go, but it is a freshman show in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Junie Mobley's really good, isn't he?
Junie Mobley is having a great game. Trey Johnson is having a great game.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say?
No, I just, we're box score watching. This is not analysis.
Okay, so what do I say?
Go on to the next game.
Okay. Buffalo beat Old Dominion on the road. They hit a buzzer beater Tyson Dunn had 24 and 10. The freshman I was talking about yesterday, Jaden Johnson, got the start. Oh, guess who's on? Listen to this roster for Old Dominion. They've got Sean Dewar Gordon, R.J. Blakeney, and Caleb Swanton Roger.
You're telling me that a team with Sean Dewar Gordon lost? I'm shocked.
Robert Davis had 25 points. That is the transfer from UMass. Tyson Dunn had the big game for Buffalo. Where did he come from? He came from Western in U Sports. He's from Canada. Take me to a new game.
I am going to take you to Purdue, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
Oh, I was hearing about that.
I watched a little bit of this game. I watched probably 10 minutes. The Purdue freshman look as advertised. Jakari Harris was great, hit a big shot down the stretch. Daniel Jacobson, what we saw in film with him showed. He has really soft touch around the rim. He is more advanced at this stage of his career than Zach Edey was.
Is he a legit 7'4"?
It appeared that way. He couldn't have been worse than like 7'3". And I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as Edey, but Matt Painter does do very well with these types of players. And I think that what you really have to look at here is that he not only had 13 and 7 tonight and has his tools look better than Edey's did his freshman year. He played 25 minutes. Zach Edey was not doing that until his junior year of college.
No. Braden Smith, 15 assists.
Yeah, stud. He had 12 points and 8 rebounds, too.
Isaac Williams, freshman, 12 points for Corpus Christi.
CJ Cox is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, CJ Cox rocks.
I know his stat line doesn't look super impressive, but he was in there getting after it defensively. He forced a couple turnovers. He's amazing.
Let's take a look at. Let's talk about Duke.
Okay.
Khan comes out and has 13 points in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Nobody. You can't hide him anymore. Everyone knows at this point.
He's a superstar. Khan's gonna be a top 10 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And then Cooper. I mean, you know how people say Cooper's not athletic?
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
There's always that one person that's trying to argue with something.
Cooper is the most athletic player in college basketball.
They come on this app and be like, but I was told Steph Curry can't shoot threes.
That dunk from Cooper that Cole posted. Mm-hmm. Holy crap.
And Cole doesn't like Duke, and he was wowed by it.
That's one of the best dunks I've seen in a long time.
Malolak was good protecting the rim, had a couple block shots.
He's playing against Maine. I'd hope he's good protecting the rim.
Yeah. I'd like to see he was more aggressive in the second half, but I like to see some more consistency out of Caleb Foster. I think he has a chance to have a really big year. And he's a super talented player. No assist for Tyrese Proctor concerns me.
Okay.
17 assists, 35 made baskets. I'd like to see that go up. And, Tyrese is this team's point guard. I'd like to see him be better than that.
Reed Von Tutich coming off of that injury that cost him the whole season at New Hampshire last year, 11 minutes off the bench. Want to see that get higher. I don't think Killian Gribben is good enough to play 16 minutes a game. I don't think he's good enough to play 5 minutes a game.
I was impressed by this Maine team. They had some tough shots.
Yeah, Queon Burns, Jaden Clayton, and Kellen Tynes is a really solid backcourt.
All right. Well, me next, I guess.
Sure.
I will go to.
I'm overwhelmed just looking at KenPom and trying to decide what box I'm going to look at.
Let's talk. Princeton, Iona.
Oh yeah, I got eyes in like the last minute of this game.
I'm stealing it from you.
Go ahead.
So I'm actually looking at the box score for the first time tonight. Xavier Lee, I know, was awesome. Who was good for Iona?
Adam.
19. Rupert had 15. Oh, good. Clarence, I like Clarence. She's a good player in that league.
Yeah, Jalen Barr is hurt.
Okay.
And Christian Winborn is hurt too. So Kernan Bundy got 11 minutes. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, Xavier Lee was the best player on the floor. He got the switch he wanted with a minute left, with 10 seconds left, and he attacked the basket.
Yeah.
It's like Princeton's really good. They're a top 75 team. This is a good performance for Iona.
Do you believe in his NBA upside?
No.
Okay, because I know there was talk of that last year.
Like, I don't think he's an NBA player. I think he's a pro.
Well, yeah.
Like, I think he's going to be a superstar somewhere.
Well, most guys can be pros if they want to be.
Oh, no, I'm not just saying like a pro. I'm saying like a
high level, like EuroLeague pro.
Like, I'm saying like a 15-year pro.
Yeah.
Like, he'll play in Europe. Like, he would score 100 points in China. He would score. It's really tough to do what he does, though, in the EuroLeague. That's what I would say. Like that's kind of why I think, like, Asia's probably a better fit for his game. Maybe the G League.
He's more
on ball.
He's more on ball, creative type of player, and that's not really what the EuroLeague is.
Yeah.
Stromer.
Only 9 minutes for Malik Abdullahi, which was interesting.
Yeah, the two freshmen we played a combined 11 minutes. Princeton just doesn't play that many guys.
Yeah, I was surprised Jacob Huggins and Jackson Hickey got starts.
Yeah.
Really don't know anything about them. They barely played as freshmen last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, James Madison, Ohio. Just quickly look at the box score. We got to like start quickening up these box score watching.
Okay.
JMU is just way too athletic for Ohio. Xavier
Brown.
No,
they looked like the far superior team in that game.
Mark Freeman, Noah Williams dropped 40 in a power conference game, and he's like the 8th man for this JMU team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything from Ohio? Nice to see Pavlovsky back out there.
Yeah, no doubt. Darius Johnson, really good for UCF.
Yeah.
Dior Johnson and Mikey Williams played a combined 5 minutes.
Good.
JJ Taylor played 23 minutes and scored 10 points. Not bad. Mustafa Thiem, this is a stat line. 22 minutes, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 6 blocks, 5 personal fouls.
Dude, he's a good rim protector.
Good rim protectors don't have 5 personal fouls in 22 minutes.
That may be all he does. Oh, what a pass. Damn hard. Can we talk about the biggest thing that happened in the city of Pittsburgh tonight?
Jacob Ognisevich.
Lipscomb upset Duquesne, of course.
Is that an upset?
I mean, Duquesne was a favorite.
I mean, Lipscomb's the favorite in the Sun.
Yeah, but
I don't have the box score for that game on KenPom yet, so I can't really go over
I'm looking at it on CBS. Ognisevich had 30 and 10. Will Pruitt had 15 on 7 field goal attempts.
Oh, Columbia escaped against Loyola, Maryland. I had eyes on that game.
Dinkins had a good night for Duquesne. Edwards 14 and 9. Corbett had 12 and 6. Quiet night for Natchez.
Richard Nueke didn't play for Columbia. Johnny Cobb had 5 points in 8 minutes. Geronimo Rubio de la Rosa 24 and 8. Kenny Nolan 19. Nice performance there. Michigan State 23 for Akins, 10 for Richardson.
Cohen Carr threw down a windmill dunk, I saw.
Did Valencia not play? Yeah, it looks like Valencia didn't play. Deming's only 12 minutes, scored 7 points. Let's see what else is there. Akron played really close with Arkansas State. Nice comeback late. Young at 15. Sharon Young, that's a freshman. He had 15.
16 for Joseph Pinion.
Nice performance there. Kobe Julian with 14. Josh Hill only got 7 minutes.
Disappointing. Troy.
Villanova.
No.
Go ahead. Talk about Troy.
Troy. Dude, they had 5 guys scoring double figures tonight. 12 from Rigsby and Connerway, 10 from Fields, 10 from Randarius Jones, who actually
Toledo doesn't guard anybody.
And then 10 from Theo saying, Toledo had 19 from John Simmons, 17 from Sonny Wilson. So, they got what they needed out of their best players. Troy's just better than them.
Toledo's just also never guarded anybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, time to switch channels. They put on football.
Villanova played 8 guys all game. Oh, man.
Who played well for them? I know Dixon didn't play, so.
Poplar, 20 and 10. Boyake, 10 and 11. Mosley, 10 points in 17 minutes.
Justin Vanderban,
yeah, he's good. Former Boston College player.
Christian was talking about him earlier.
Wisconsin got 23 from John Tonje.
He's back. Let's go. I like John Tonje.
23 and 5. Jag of the year, Stephen Crowell with 7.
Did they start Kamari McGee? No, they didn't.
They started Nolan Winter.
So they're going two sort of stretch bigs and no point guard. that's interesting.
Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if this works out for him. Gabe Warren had 23 for Holy Cross. Nick Martinelli was sick. TJ texted me about him, 26 and 10.
Yep.
KJ Wyndham got the start. Angelo Caravino had 7. Luke Hunger had 15. Lehigh just doesn't have, I am very concerned about Lehigh's post presence. They don't have one.
That was in 28 minutes too from Martinelli.
Yeah, I'm just very concerned about Lehigh's post presence. Iowa.
Price was great.
Sadu didn't play.
Huh?
Sadu didn't play.
No. I wonder why that is.
Let's check Twitter.
The storyline from that game was Price Sanford off the bench at 13. Delwell 10 off the bench as well.
Oh, Sadu's in a boot.
Well, that ain't good. Cooper Koch at 6 in 18 minutes.
Hopeful that he's back on Thursday.
Okay. He's in a boot, and they think he's going to be back on Thursday?
A boot could be precautionary.
That's very fair.
Fred Hoiberg's team.
How about Florida Atlantic beating Indiana State by 33?
Bryce Williams, 27 points. He's going to lead the Big Ten in scoring.
Dude,
well, he's not, but that's
enough. And they still played terrible.
He's not actually going to lead the Big Ten in scoring. It's just a fun agenda. Yeah. Griffiths, Esigian. Esigian was good.
Esigian is good. They had a agenda against him at Wisconsin.
Michigan dropped 101 on Cleveland State.
Who did Mississippi State play?
I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll get
By the way,
that.
you were right. I'm wrong. Chattanooga got crushed.
Yeah. Danny Wolf had 19 and 13. LJ Kaysen had 14 off the bench. I'm not ready to say I'm absolutely wrong that Will Riley isn't going to be this superstar immediately.
You're
but
wrong.
Holy crap, that was a crazy performance tonight against Eastern.
Dude, I didn't see
I know he can score against mid-major caliber guys. That wasn't the question for me.
Well, he's the greatest player ever. So
look, I would have had him as a top 5 guy in 2025. Maybe top maybe top like he I would have had him like right there with Peterson and company at like number 3 in 2025. So like it's like don't act like I don't like Will Riley. I'm just concerned that he's maybe a little bit not ready for playing against Big Ten guys. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see.
Jag of the Year candidate Dre Gibbs Lawhorn with 21.
Tomislav with 14 and 14.
A lot of good agendas for us in this Illinois game tonight.
Oh, Vashon Olet had 20 for TCU. No way.
Dude, I didn't even know they were playing tonight.
They killed Florida A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Virginia Tech was... Do you know what the halftime score of Virginia Tech Delaware State was?
I don't.
18-6.
What? That's not real.
The final score was 61-34. Virginia Tech's leading scorer? Toby Lawal with 18. He hit 2 threes.
Okay.
That's notable.
Jack Clark, 11 and 9 today for VCU. Yep.
The BC only won by 9 against the Citadel.
Dude, that team's a disgrace.
Donald Hand, 4 for 14 in the field, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Oh my God, Wake Forest only scored 64 points against.
Yeah, and Brown came off the bench.
KJ is selling absolute snake oil, man.
Miss State played West Georgia. Okay.
What'd you say?
Well, no, I saw a comment. Hubbard and Claudel Harris apparently had 46 combined and hit 12 threes.
Omaha with 11 off the bench.
Really?
Yeah.
That was 64-49.
Brutal.
Well,
Loyola Chicago escaped against Chicago State. I don't have a box score for that.
I can pull it up real quick if you want.
Samet Yajitoglu didn't play for SMU, but Boopy.
He's not eligible yet, right?
Yeah, Boopy had 21. Ambrose Hilton had 12. BJ Edwards. Matt Cross. Did Matt Cross get hurt? He only played 1 minute.
Either that or you have some apologies.
He started.
Loyola, by the way, 20 for Jaden Dawson, 14.
And Matt Cross went to the locker room after 1 minute.
14 and 7 assists for Justin Moore, 14 and 8 rebounds for Desmond Watson. Miles Rubin had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block, played 20 minutes, was in foul trouble. So, nothing really too special there.
Can you go to Lindenwood, Oklahoma box score?
How about St. Joe's, by the way?
We'll get to that.
Oh, will we? Like you're going in some sort of order here.
Yes, I am.
Did Oklahoma go final?
Duke Miles, 14 and 6, baby. 5 for 7 from the field. That's my guy right there. That's the best player in the country.
Mo State hung with Butler.
Yeah, that was impressive.
21, 4 and 5 for Des White. He seems to have taken a somewhat early step forward. Jamil Telford had 29 because, of course, he did.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Hey, since he beat Pine Bluff by 55, I don't care who it is. It was a D1 team. They beat him by 55.
Dude, St. Joe's saved by just having more talent.
Yeah. Dude,
Rasul
honestly,
Diggins, good game.
It wasn't like a super chaotic night.
Yeah. NJIT blew a game against Penn.
We got...
Shout out UCF, by the way. That's a big win.
Yeah, it is. We got, I think, 3 epitome of brutality tweets from Rothstein tonight.
Who?
South Carolina lost to North Florida.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even mentioned that.
Vermont,
South Carolina lost to North Florida.
Vermont won at UAB,
That's a big win.
and Illinois State lost to UT Martin.
All right, Jonathan, you want to take us home?
No, you take us home. I hosted.
I don't have anything to say.
All right, if you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about Trey Johnson being better than Kevin Durant, you came to the right place. And if you came to hear about Caleb Grill and what is happening with him, his team blew a huge lead tonight, you came to the right place. This is season 5, episode 32 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. We'll be back tomorrow night. See you next time.